The latest university binge drinking fad uses BORGS. What's a BORG? It stands for Blackout Rage Gallon. It's essentially a gallon jug of water that's filled with alcohol and electrolytes and some caffeine. The hashtag has more than 75 million views on TikTok. For more on possible benefits, we are joined by Dr. Samantha Wells, Senior Director and Scientist at the Institute for Mental Health Policy Research, Center for Addiction and Mental Health. Good morning, Dr. Wells.
Good morning. How are you today?
I am doing great. Fascinating. I mean, to me, Borg was a science fiction term. This is the new version. We know that Borgs have been around since about 2020, but as restrictions have lifted and people are together more, they've become more popular. How would drinking alcohol out of a gallon jug be considered harm reduction?
Well, that's a really good question, and I would probably conclude that it's a misnomer, really. I would worry that people would attach a safety risk to adding so much alcohol to a jug of water, and it looks to me like quite a lot of alcohol is added to these recipes.
Recipes is an interesting way to phrase that. Yeah, the idea is it's supposed to balance water and electrolytes with the alcohol, the idea being that you've got less of a hangover at the end of the day. But as you point out, people are controlling their own amount of alcohol. What is the risk in some people thinking of this as a quote-unquote better alternative?
Right. Well, I think people are assuming that by adding electrolytes, that's reducing the likelihood that they'll have a hangover as well. I think if they're adding caffeine to sort of keep them up and going. And I think they're also assuming that there's some safety attached to carrying around their own jug so that it won't get tampered with. So that, of course, you know, maybe there may be some element of truth to that, especially for young women who are worried about date rape drugs, but that's yet to be seen. And of course, if they're drinking to the point of blacking out, blackout is in the name of these jugs, then I would worry very much that in fact women's safety is put further at risk.
Right. What are some of your concerns as well, Doctor, when you take a look at this trend?
Well, I think another concern is really just encouraging young people encouraging one another to consume a lot of alcohol per occasion. And we know that when people drink larger volumes of alcohol at once, it can result in many, many harms. You know, alcohol poisonings, injuries, violence, drinking and driving, the list goes on. And so, of course, we're concerned that young people are going to be putting themselves and others at risk. But of course, and I think I'm always worried about women's safety in particular and their risk of sexual assault when drinking excessively.
Dr. Borg, I'm sorry, Dr. Wells, thanks for coming. I mean,
you're very welcome.
If you're looking for a TikTok persona or a social media persona, I mean, that might be a good way to get
there we go, Dr. Borg. That's my new title.
Thanks so much, Dr. Wells.
Thank you. Take care.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.